started, he interviewed a couple of our guys. So I told him, I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing something for us? Student activity doesn't look like, right? And so we got him to do that, and like his presence is a whole lot different because I used to do all of our interviews, right? We tried to expand that out and let people that actually have interest in it take some areas.
And then you can focus on things you're passionate about.
Right.
Like this.
Right.
And like I would love a sometime, no time soon, chat about because our announcer slash tech was fantastic. Great sports guy, very knowledgeable. I think something like this would elevate his announcing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is simple. I mean, this is not a system. This is what I put together. And I can cover, I can get first half, second half. I've kind of developed it. There's some limitations, but it's really simple. I can track 3 codes by typing in a 0 or 1, and then the formula take care of the rest. You know what I mean? So I've tried to keep it simple for in-game. But yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to share some of this. It's evolved over time, but it's just a sale. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Well, quite honestly, everybody develops their product. Your college product.
Yeah, we have to all share.
And I'm so sad that I'm like, I've been talking to some of the other guys about how simple it is to do basic things. And you just look at it.
I didn't even know what social media graphics
It doesn't take much. And it doesn't. I think everybody thinks that's the most outstanding. If you'll just do some block and tackle stuff, I think you'd be surprised how much more engagement it is. Yeah, I'll reach out to you.
So, she's the other book. I think she wants to sit at the table with we have to let her do.
Oh yeah, they're about to move.
Right? Yeah. Okay. I look for words that way.
Oh, I don't mind moving.
Are you singing again tonight?
No, I think the other guy might come sing. I'm not sure. If not, I'll just play it. I don't normally sing.
I thought you were the guy that sang it last night.
Oh no, there's 2 of us.
Oh, okay. They did a great job. I thought
He's
it
a
was
great
nice.
singer.
Yeah.
He's smashed the
I turned around and I'm like, yo.
Yeah, he's insane. After I heard he was doing it, I was like, well, I better just not come up here and stick the
Trust
place
me,
up.
you don't want me doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me.
Like she gave us this, she's like, you can put this thing.
Oh, I talked back yesterday. I was talking back. They weren't talking to me.
They try to talk to you. And both teams are that is supposed to be team they're trying to ask you a dumbass question. All games come back to me during a timeout.
Yesterday, every time, like, it was like, a free throw coach, it was like, how many times I pass? How many times I pass? You ask me the same question. Why do you keep asking me the same question?
During a break, it's just like
me up. I'm not going off. Oh, yeah.
We don't have one down here.
He has it. You feel that? I didn't know you could feel it. You need to wash it. Oh, you didn't blow dry mine.
Yeah, so we do Davidson. So we don't. We've done some neutral games like right after the new year. We had a couple teams in from like Maryland and Michigan, and so we did like 4 games over 2 days. So we've done some neutral games before, but we're typically Davidson Davie, and he does Guilford College. So he's been. Really? Okay. Yeah. So we've seen it helps. Honestly, we've seen all of these teams, right? We've been doing it for a couple of years. So watching the big guys, we saw them. So actually, we feel like the data gives us understanding what they do. I mean, clearly,
Oh, you know what the thing is? You don't know this song? If you don't know it, don't mean nothing. Oh, I'm gonna say, oh, you're saying it.
I thought they should have beaten them, quite honestly. That was great. That's a great program. Like I know their coaches, one of their assistants. He and I will communicate 5 or 6 times during the season how they're doing. I have a ton of respect for that program. Those coaches are just outstanding guys. They're building on the program. So we get to know, it's nice.
Yeah.
Showcasing the player.
We need his basket tomorrow.
Yeah, when you get coaches, your coaches here watching it. That's how all of these guys get scholarships.
Hey man, how you feeling? You all right?
I was the legend.
Say now, one more.
We played all a little bit more back in the day.
Yeah, I think Trinity needs to classify down to
Smaller. So we were 3A, but we got smaller when they built. We were there when they built Oakland High School. So basically, in between Bedford and North Davidson, they built Oakland. And they took the most of it.
That's what happened to us when they built Pitt.
Yeah, so Bedford and North Davidson got a lot smaller. Bedford's underrated. Yeah. So 5 years ago, before Oakland was built, we were missing 1,200. So now Oakland is probably 12. So now you've got 3 high schools in the North End of the county that are probably 500 students. Most of them are half of them are over, yeah. So that happens. It didn't look great a couple weeks ago. I mean, did it last summer. Yeah, it's not going well.
No, it doesn't look good because he was thinking about playing something this season. Is what he said. That was what he said. Hey, let's get a picture here, Kevin.
Make sure to send that to me.
Do what?
Did you have to make sure to send that to me?
Okay.
Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for everything. Appreciate you. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all being here.
Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the finals of the Region 10 Division II Men's Basketball Championship. Miles Poole and Kevin Gardner coming to you live from the Schwartz Center here on the campus of Cape Fear Community College. And tonight, Kevin, the number 1 seed Davidson Davie Community College Storm going to go for the championship. Standing in the way, Pitt Community College, the Bulldogs, want to punch their ticket to the Nationals. This is going to be a very good ball game.
Miles Poole, we're here in downtown Wilmington, and one of the things that dominates the skyline is the USS North Carolina just across the river. Well, it's been a battle, just like that battleship has had in the past. It's been a battle right here in the Schwartz Center on the campus of Cape Fear Community College these last 3 days. Really looking forward to this game. These two teams play tight ball games, both won by Davidson Davie, but one by 15 and one by 2 during the season. So this should be a dandy tonight.
It's going to be really good. How they got here, Davidson Davie defeated Central Carolina in the quarterfinals 86-71 after trailing at the half. And then they beat Fayetteville Tech last night in a very good ball game. That one they also trailed at the half, had a great second half. Pitt got here on a different journey. They beat Catawba Valley 98-91, scored a lot of points, and then they had a second half surge last night to beat the number 2 seed Bryan and Stratton 91-89 in a very close ball game. Bryan and Stratton had a chance to tie it up with 3 free throws at the end and couldn't get it done, so Pitt advances. And again, a lot at stake here. The winner of this game punches their ticket to Danville, Illinois to play for the national championship.
Yeah, that's right, Miles. And as we've talked about, there are at-large bids to that championship. However, there's no guarantee. Even for Davidson Davie, that's lived most of the season in the top 5 of the standings, currently number 7, you don't want to leave it up to the committee to get to that point. What you want to do is try to finish it off right now. Pitt Bulldogs, they know that they feel like they probably have to win this thing, and so they're going to leave it all on the court like we've seen them do for the past 2 nights.
Starting 5 for the Storm: Dane Stewart, Aiden Taylor, Ethan English, Lamonte Calzer, Jamal Crisp. For Pitt, Xylee Bazemore, Jaquan Curry, Traven Norwood, Amarian McCray, and Jaquan Baylor, the big guy you see there at center court, 6'8". Ball goes out of bounds, and Storm will get basketball first, Kevin.
Now, if Pitt wants to be able to find that elusive win over Davidson Davie this season, one of the things they can do is really have their guards attack the rim. In the game at Pitt, Pitt Community College shot 33 free throws, and their guards got to the rim and got fouled early and often, and that was a key for them trying to keep that game close. That was a 2-point game again at Pitt, so that could be a strategy we might see them employ this evening.
Something in that first game that was very close. Davidson Davie had an 11 rebound margin that led to 19 second chance points. That's not typically what you see against this Pitt team. Pitt is a very good rebounding team, and speaking of rebounds, Aiden Taylor gets an offensive board and a putback for the first points of the game. This Pitt team, tough in the paint on both sides of the ball. One of the nation's best shot blocking teams, and they'd like to go inside. There's a nice jumper by Amarian McCray, who had 30 points last night. McCray suffered leg cramps in the second half of that ball game last night. We'll see how well he's playing today. He's got that left leg wrapped. Storm go inside to Calzer. Calzer gets the bucket, and he's going to be hammered, and picking up his first foul early is the big guy, Jaquan Baylor. Not somebody that the Bulldogs can afford to get in foul trouble.
No, they can't. You know, and last night he played a pretty clean game. He picked up some early fouls, right? But then he managed to not pick up his third until I think about 6 minutes left on the clock. So he's accustomed to being in foul trouble, but I'm not surprised to see the Storm go right after him, especially with the very skilled Lamonte Calzer, Region 10 Player of the Year.
Calzer's free throw is good. Storm lead it 5-2. We're a minute into this contest, and fans still filing in here to the Schwartz Center. Norwood being guarded closely by Jamal Crisp. Norwood throws the ball away and tracks it down. That's a double dribble. That'll be a turnover. He was trying to get the ball to Bazemore, and Bazemore cut a different direction.
Right, just a little bit of miscommunication. That happens sometimes. You just don't want to see it happen in the championship game, but you get up and down as much as these two teams do, and That occasionally will take place.
Backdoor pass to Ethan English. That one's good. Nice look by Jamal Crisp.
Well, and the nonverbal communication between those two players is excellent. A lot of backdoor passes that those two are able to complete on the season. So it's not an unfamiliar sight, but this is a good start so far if you're a Storm fan, up 7-2.
The big guy, Baylor, goes inside, can't get that one to go, and the Storm are going to run with it. They push it up to Kauser, and Lamonte is going to be fouled. That is the second foul on Baylor in less than 2 minutes into this contest. And Jaquan will have to come out, I would imagine.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned that he's really smart, and I've been impressed with his ability to play defense and block shots without fouling. But, boy, that's a big ask to leave him out there with 18-18 left in the first half. Not seeing anybody reporting to the table, though, at the moment, so that may be the ask for him.
Lamonte Kauser short on his first free throw. Lamonte had two big games against Pitt this year, 29 in that first. He had 30 in the second one that was played in Lexington, North Carolina. Lamonte hits the second free throw. Storm lead at 8-2. Dane Stewart locked in on Bazemore. Jaquan Curry going to pull up for a short jumper, drains it. Nice looking shot there by Curry.
Well, that's the experience of a sophomore guard, not afraid to go right after Lamonte Kauser.
Well, they go back to Kauser inside against Baylor, and Baylor tried to block that one, didn't back off with the two fouls, but Lamonte got that one to go in.
Yeah, if you're Baylor, you probably don't want to risk that because that's one of those that the referee may have called it. So you probably don't need to block that early in the game. You might let that go if you're him next time.
Traven Norwood drives to the bucket and is fouled by Ethan English. That's the first Storm foul. And Norwood will go and shoot a couple of free throws here. Traven had 13 last night in that win against Bryant and Stratton, and he misses the first free throw. Not a great free throw shooter, shooting right at 57% on the season.
Sean Boston entering the game. It reminds me that he scored 20 in the game at Pitt, where the Bulldogs were able to keep it to 2 points with Davidson Davie.
Well, they may need some points from Boston tonight. Dane Stewart from three, misses, and the big guy, Baylor, is going to own the boards. Boston brought some energy last night when he came into the contest.
Yeah, he's a real spark plug. I think the guards for Pitt played very well last night overall and kind of drove the action for them.
Boy, I tell you, Jaquan Curry gets the putback on his own miss, and he is one guy that's not afraid to go inside either. Storm try to alley-oop to Jamal Crisp.
I think they're going to say he grabbed the rim.
He did grab the rim, yep. Yeah. Jamal coming away from that a little gingerly.
Well, the last 2 days, we'll go back to.
They're going to call a technical on Crisp.
So they're saying that he grabbed the rim to elevate himself.
No, I think he was trying to avoid getting knocked off of the rim, maybe.
Yeah, that's so they're saying that he grabbed the rim before he grabbed the ball, and so that's where they're calling the technical foul. It's an unfortunate situation because I think he was trying to avoid running into it, but that is the call. Referee's giving the explanation to Coach Ridge now.
Yeah, not a personal foul or a team foul.
Right, and I think the referee did a good job there of explaining what happened on the play and what his vantage point was.
Did he say it was not a personal or team foul?
Yep.
So very good job. And we've had some really good referees in this men's tournament this weekend. I think they've given good explanations, kept control of the game where they needed to.
Well, they want to get it right, and this is a key game, critical game, a lot at stake here. So we've got great officiating crew. We got the A-team tonight. We've had the A-team every night. Baylor looking inside, feeds it to Curry. That ball's blocked by Taylor, and Taylor got a piece of Jaquan, and Curry will go to the free throw line. That will be Aiden's first foul, second team foul.
Jaquan Curry early on trying to carry the Pitt Bulldogs. He's got 5 of their 7 early and heading to the free throw line now. He comes in averaging just under 11. We've talked about it before in this tournament, though. I think he does a lot of things that you don't see show up in the scoring line.
He had 16 in that first game in the quarterfinals against Catawba Valley. Last night, a little quiet, only had 2, but misses his first free throw. Second free throw from Curry is good. It's 10-8. Kobe Parker in now for the Storm.
Well, that was a dangerous pass, getting it into Aiden Taylor there at midcourt.
Taylor drives against Baylor. Baylor blocks the shot, clean block, but turns it over to Kobe Parker, who hits a short jumper in the lane. Nice block by Baylor, but then the turnover turns into 2 points for the Storm. 12-8, 16 minutes now left to go in the first half. Final action here in D2 Region 10 basketball. Curry inside, misses a jumper. Taylor going to grab the boards. Kobe Parker wide open from three-point range, and it's good.
Well, and the Bulldogs played that possession 4-on-5. Baylor was still on the other end of the court. He didn't actually start making his way back down. I missed if he was hurt or anything like that, but he wasn't present during most of that possession for the Storm.
Curry fires up a 3, misses, and Ethan English is going to corral the rebound, and that's stolen by Boston. They're going to say that's a backcourt. It'll be Storm basketball, but Boston crept up behind Ethan, and he didn't know he was there.
Yeah, it was a good move by Boston. A very heady play. Unfortunately, as he gathered the ball, he slid across the court. So tough spot for him to be in, but backcourt nonetheless.
We got timeout on the court. 15 minutes, 18 seconds left to go in the first half. Storm on top early over Pitt, 15-8. We'll be back to the Swartz Center right after this.
Pushing the phone on. That gets a spot for Boss.
Early, but they left him in there. We're back here. This is the finals of the men's Region 10 championship. Davidson Davie, the #1 seed, taking on the 3rd seeded Pitt Bulldogs. Kevin, right now the Storm up early, 15-8. And the big story, I think, is Jaquan Baylor, the big 6'8" center sophomore for the Bulldogs, has 2 fouls. Picked them up within 2 minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, it was the 18-18 mark, so he's played the last 3 minutes without picking up a foul, but the Storm have been going right at him. Even one time I thought maybe he might get that 3rd foul. Rolling the dice a little bit. I think Coach Mullins believes if he's going to win this ball game, he really feels like Baylor has to be a presence. So he's going to roll the dice and leave him out there even now.
Dane Stewart back in for the Storm. That pass almost stolen by Norwood. Jamal Crisp going to fire up a 3 from the corner. It's good. Storm up now by 10, 18-8. And the Bulldogs going to pound it down low to Baylor, and English swipes that one away, and here come the Storm. Good feed from English to Crisp. This time he doesn't hang on the rim. It's a clean dunk, and the Storm up by 12. Pitt might want to take a timeout here.
Settle in and try to get McCray going. See if you can get some action from him. Or Baylor, the big man, going to throw it down, but he missed it.
It was a beautiful pass by Norwood, but the big guy just missed on the dunk. Curry with a nice rebound on the Cowser miss. And McCray, short jumper is a little bit too strong, but guess who's there to get the rebound and the putback? Jaquan Curry.
Well, you can just read it on Jaquan Curry's face. He's been a very impressive player these last 2 seasons for Pitt, and he is trying to will his team in this one right now. He does not want his career to end tonight in terms of being a Pitt Bulldog.
He's got 8 of Pitt's 10 points. Jamal Crisp on a long 3. That's an air ball, and he looks over at the Storm bench and says, my bad.
You know, I think the exact same thing happened last night. He hit his first three-pointer, and then his second three-pointer was from the exact same spot and airballed that as well.
Yeah.
Now, Jamal Crisp, we've talked about it. He doesn't shoot a ton of three-pointers, but he shoots them at a high rate. He's well over 30% on the season.
Coming in for the Bulldogs, we've got Cameron White and also Clarence Burton seeing their first action for the Storm. Will Gray going to check in. Storm up by 10, 13:44 left in the first half. And Dane Stewart and Bazemore going at it. Nice anticipation and steal by Kobe Parker. And Dane Stewart going to go to the free throw line. Foul on Bazemore. And again, just beautiful defense there by Kobe Parker.
Yeah, absolutely. But on the other end, Dane Stewart, he got a good look. He's going to go to the free throw line. But if you're the Storm, you're in the championship game, you get a chance for a three-point play. You'd like to see Dane Stewart finish on that.
Dane on the season right at 79% from the charity stripe. And that first free throw goes in and out. Stewart going to tee up his next free throw. And that one goes in, nothing but net. It's 21-10.
There's a long time left in this game, but the Pitt Bulldogs they have to establish someone besides Curry, who's really been the dominant force for them early. He scored 8 of their 10 points, so they'd love to see McCray get rolling or try to get it, maybe Bazemore to knock down some threes. They've done an effective job of driving to the hole throughout the season and this tournament. The guards have, and so so far this game, it's just been Curry that's been attacking.
Yeah, they're having a tough time getting the ball to McCray. I mean, he is being covered like a blanket by Aiden Taylor, probably one of the better defenders in Region 10. Bazemore going to drive, going to put up one off the glass at the shot clock. As the shot clock winds down, and the Storm going to get the miss. Will Gray fires up a 3, and it's stuck on the rim, and that'll be Bulldog basketball.
The one thing I'm seeing out of the Storm that I don't think we saw in the first 2 games of this tournament is they are getting up and down the court intentionally at speeds that you've seen from them most of the season, but this tournament, they've been content letting it play at a little bit slower pace, but not so far tonight.
Yeah, a little bit different story tonight. The first 2 games in this tournament, they had slow starts, I mean really ugly starts, and got behind and actually trailed at the break in both games, which is not something we typically see from this Davidson Davie team, but they're out like a rocket tonight. Nice rebound there by Cameron White. Pitt needs a bucket here. And they want to get McCray in on the action, but he's being guarded right now by Ethan English. Burton going to drive to the hoop, and Javier Ortiz, who just entered the game, blocks that one.
And maybe Burton is the answer for Pitt. I mean, he had a 23-point game against the Storm earlier this season. So he's shown that he can get in there on this defense as well. But right now, again, still looking to try to get somebody rolling, not named Jaquan Curry.
Hunter Greenling checks in now, and Norwood's going to sit down for just a moment. Greenling played a little yesterday in that Bryan and Stratton game, spelled Jaquan Baylor for a little while. Ethan English tries to get it inside to Crisp. Nice save by Jamal, and then Ethan English hits Aiden Taylor cutting to the bucket. He misses the shot, but he's going to go to the free throw line. That foul is going to be on Greenling, who just entered the ball game.
That's a bit of a bailout, too, for Taylor there because it looked like he short-armed that. I don't think the foul is necessarily what caused him to miss it. He just short-armed it, so he's going to the free throw line. And otherwise, that may have been going the other direction with the Bulldogs.
Aiden, the third-team all-region selection. That was announced at the beginning of the tournament. Storm up by 12. It's 12:05 left to go in the first half. A lot of ball left here. And Taylor gets the second free throw to go down. If you're watching via YouTube and you want to chat us up, do that. We'll get to those momentarily. We see some coming in from both sides of the fence, which is nice. Burton looking to drive on Ortiz. Good defense by Javier. There's a nice open three by White. Couldn't get it to go down, and here come the Storm.
Don't see Jamal Crisp running the point very often.
Boy, what a rocket shot in there from Ethan English to Taylor. And Taylor strips the ball away from, that's just power. Stripped it away from Greenling, went up, and was fouled. But by all rights, that should have been a rebound for Greenling.
Yeah, he brought it down just far enough to where Aiden Taylor, who is very strong, could go get it. He left it out there for him, and Aiden Taylor took it away.
11:27, we've got timeout on the court. We'll be back to the Cape Fear Community College campus with the Storm leading 23-10 right after this break. We are back here at the beautiful Schwartz Center on the campus of Cape Fear Community College. Final action here in the D2 Men's Region 10 Championship. Storm up 23-10. Kevin, Storm out quick, and Pitt just not being able to find any offense. They've got to find somebody other than Curry who can put some points on the board.
Yeah, a lot of defensive pressure by the Storm. They've had their top two defenders, Aiden Taylor and Ethan English, on McCray for the most part. And they've done a pretty good job denying the ball, fighting through screens and trying to keep it out of his hands. Pitt's probably got to find a way to make that happen. You got to be able to get a few more screens, or he's got to work a little bit harder away from the ball, but got to get it in his hands to see if he can get some damage done. They need that threat active for Pitt to win this ball game.
Taylor at the free throw line. He'll shoot a couple. Bulldogs have 5 team fouls. Storm only 2 here in the first half. Aiden's first free throw is good. Jaquan Baylor and Hunter Greenling both have 2 fouls apiece for the Bulldogs. Taylor hits both of those free throws. 15-point lead now for Davidson Davie. White looking to get on the board, misses that 3, and that ball goes out of bounds.
Is that off the outstretched hands of Kobe Parker?
Yep. Couldn't quite hold on to it. Dane Stewart going to come in for Kobe. Coach Ridge will rotate those white jerseys in and out a lot in this ball game. Fresh legs in the game, and that allows him to play that pressure basketball. Up tempo. Ortiz knocks that one out of bounds. I tell you, for Big Al, Javier's got quick hands.
He really does. He takes a lot of pride in his defense. He doesn't score a ton of points, but defensively he is very active, and he's a super athlete. I think you can see a lot of development for him as he looks forward to his sophomore year. But
I think he knows what his role is on this team this year. It may be different next year, but he's accepted that, and he plays well, and that's going to be an offensive foul. It's going to be on Greenling. That'll be his 3rd.
Now you 2 big guys are getting into foul trouble if you're the Bulldogs.
Not what Coach Mullins wanted, not the way he wanted the team to start this ball game. Storm pushing that ball. Dane Stewart blows by his defender for an easy layup. So quick. 17-point lead now for Davidson Davie. Greenling way outside. Bazemore drives, can't get the one-hander to go up, and Jamal Crisp's going to snag the rebound, and here comes Dane Stewart. I mean, he's like lightning. Beautiful shot by Aiden Taylor, going right at Greenling.
He's already got 8 on the night.
Greenling came close to picking up that 4th foul there.
It could have easily been called. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if the referee would have blown his whistle.
Got to call a holding foul on Jamal Crisp.
Yeah, he and Greenland were battling pretty hard there.
Wholesale substitutions coming in for the Bulldogs. Back in is Norwood, Baylor, Curry. We see Tamir Moore and also Boston now checking into the game. So fresh legs for Pitt. Lamonte Cowser comes back in along with Will Gray for Davidson Davie. And that's going to be a foul on Jaquan Baylor. He comes in and picks up a quick 3rd foul. Now both of the big guys have 3 fouls apiece for Pitt, and there's still 10 minutes and 4 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, Pitt's in trouble right now. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but they're in trouble. Big guys, including Baylor, have fouls. I mean, Greenling has played a little some during this tournament, but that's not the one that hurts you. Baylor right now having 3 is in trouble point for him because they've got to have his presence.
He was on the floor for 5 seconds before he picked up that foul. Ortiz with a jumper, misses. Norwood with a nice strong rebound, but loses a handle on the ball, and Dane Stewart strips him and goes in for the dunk. I tell you, at 5'11", that young man can absolutely elevate. 31-10. And Davidson Davie trying to put this thing away in the first half. Jalen Wilkerson at the scores table getting ready to, or Jalen Roberts getting ready to check in for the Storm. J-Rob. Norwood driving on Ortiz, puts up a shot, and I think he stepped out of bounds. That'll be a turnover for Pitt.
Yeah, that's just an awkward setup when they find Baylor out at the 3-point line and the guards can't get to him. Norwood, who is a very athletic guy, he finds himself with 6 seconds left on the shot clock, 25 feet from the basket, so he was forced to try to do something.
Storm beat that full court pressure by the Bulldogs. Up by 21. Jalen Roberts now driving, takes a shot from the foul line, misses, but Ethan English is there to get the rebound, and that's blocked by Norwood. Good defensive play there by Norwood, but he throws it away. Jalen Roberts misses a shot, and Boston.
It's a great defensive play by Jalen Roberts, but that might have been a situation where you've gotten the steal. Kudos from your coach, but maybe reset the offense at that point.
Boston lost the ball out of bounds, but before that he was fouled by Ethan English at the 8:31 mark. That's Ethan's 2nd foul, Storm's 4th. Pitt's gone a long time without a bucket. Norwood can't buy the 3, and the Storm going to run again.
Yeah, you mentioned it's been a long time. At the under 16 timeout, Pitt had 8 points.
Ooh.
So in 8 minutes, we're just going to say 8 minutes on the clock, they've only scored 2 points.
That's a rough start for the Bulldogs. Roberts comes back out. Will Gray going to check in. Pass inside to Cowser. Easy turnaround for Lamonte. Beautiful feed there by Kobe Parker.
Cowser's got 8 now on the evening. It's a Storm pull up by 23. Pitt desperately looking for this under 8 timeout to catch a breather and try to reset a little bit.
Boston going to be fouled on the drive. That's going to be on Dane Stewart, his first. Aiden Taylor's going to check in for Ethan English. And there's going to be timeout on the court, 7:52. We're going to keep it here, and we're going to check some of the comments. Kristen Briggs says, "Go Storm." Gene Dabbs pulling for the Storm. A. Wilkes says, "Bring them out. Bring them out." Champ, Pitt wins by 3. Champ, they got a lot of time to come back, but they're down by 23 right now. Lakeisha Taylor says, "Go Storm." Jairus Fullwood says, "Let's go Pitt." I got Bigster Boy says, "Storm." Dan Truey says, "Let's go Storm." Punch the ticket to Danville. They're looking like they're doing that right now, Dan, but again, a lot of time left. Tramisha Norwood, "Let's go Bulldogs." Mark Beck said, "The Cedar Lodge Barbershop watching again. Go Storm." Candy Swain, "Let's go Pitt." Gore's Offshore pulling for the Storm. Champ says, "Pitt looks tired." They absolutely do at this point. Bulldog Nation, Jasmine Spain. Everyone knows. Somebody said it was supposed to be Stratton against Davidson, but that's not the way it went last night. Pitt pulled out a close one.
You got to win it on the court.
Yep, absolutely. Well, 33-10. Again, Pitt's gone a long time without some points. Like you said, they've gone about 8 minutes with only 2. They need some offense. Boston cut off there by Kobe Parker. That's Moore. Moore getting double teamed. Gets it over to Norwood and misses the shot. And the ball is going to go out of bounds off of Dane Stewart. It'll still remain with the Bulldogs.
If you're looking for scoring on the court right now, it's Curry and Norwood. They both average about a little over 10 points a game. So for those that are out here right now, those are the two that can get you some points.
And McNeil puts one up as the buzzer sounds on the shot clock. Storm going to rebound it. Beautiful pass inside to Gray. That one's blocked, though, by McNeil. Nice block. Curry can't get it to go, and it's one and done. Pitt not being able to get any kind of offensive rebounds, and Kobe Parker's going to be fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
And that's been a little bit of the story here is the Storm have maybe missed some point-blank buckets, but they've been running the court offensively and gotten a lot of second-chance opportunities, and that's a good example of it there where Will Gray misses the layup, but Kobe Parker's running the court, gets the rebound. Now he's going to the free throw line.
8th team foul on the Bulldogs. Kobe with his 6th point. And Parker gets the other one to go down. 35-10. Storm lead with 6:59 left to go in this first half. Jaquan Curry with the basketball, going to drive on Gray. He puts up a shot, and he will go to the free throw line. Foul's going to be on Will. That'll be his first.
Well, if you're Pitt, now you're looking at every 4-minute segment trying to cut into this a little bit. There are no 25-point shots, as the old cliche goes, but there are 2-point, 3-point shots in defensive stands. So that's what they need, get a couple defensive stands, get a couple of buckets, and just try to cut it. Every 4-minute stanza, try to cut it by another 4 or 5 points and get right back in this ball game. There's a ton of time left.
Oh, yeah, a ton of time for sure. Curry's free throw's good. He's got 9 of Pitt's 11 points. 10 of 12. Full court pressure now by Pitt. Cray working on Taylor. Gets it over to Parker. Aiden pulls it out, going to set up the offense. Storm being very patient here. 10 on the shot clock. Lamonte Cowser are going to go up. He's going to be fouled. That one's going to be on Kanan Patrick. That'll be his first. Lamonte's going to shoot some free throws here. 9th team foul on Pitt. The next one, Storm will be in the double bonus the rest of the half.
If you're Coach Mullins, this is not the way you envisioned the first half going for your team.
No, but I will say this, and Mert Taylor is watching out there, and Mert says the right team's in the championship game. I agree absolutely with you, but he said Davidson had Pitt down at Pitt last month by 20 plus, and they only lost by 2. So it absolutely, they can come back. They've been in that position before.
Yeah, in fact, Davie was up by about 13 with maybe 3 minutes left on the clock or 2 minutes left on the clock in that game.
37-12, Storm up by 25, 6:15 left to go here in this first half. Shot by Boston is off, and Cowser misses inside, but Aiden Taylor is there to get the offensive board. Jalen Wilkerson for 3. Man, when it rains, it pours. Everything going right for the Storm, and really nothing going right at this point for Pitt. Lamonte Cowser knocks that one out of bounds. Dane Stewart almost steals the inbounds there. They were trying to get the ball in to Rayshon Boston.
Let's see how intentional the Bulldogs are about trying to get the ball in the hands of Amari McCray. He's still with only 2 points so far on the night. I mean, I guess it goes without saying he's the only other Bulldog that scored outside of Curry.
Clarence Burton and Amari Barber check in now for Pitt. And Barber is going to have the ball against Will Gray. Gets it over to Patrick. Back to Curry. Curry's going to try to drive, and he's going to be fouled. Whistle is called on Jalen Wilkerson. That'll be Jalen's first.
Wilkerson got him with the chest a little bit, so those Bulldogs will shoot some free throws.
Yeah, they're in the bonus now. 17 fouls now on the Storm.
That just shows to me that the speed of Jaquan Curry, just how fast he is off the dribble, because Jalen Wilkerson's pretty good laterally left to right, but Jaquan Curry just caught him off balance.
Curry's got 11, make it 12 of Pitt's 14 points.
And he's 6 of 7 from the free throw line himself.
Storm break the full court pressure. Dane Stewart thought about the 3, then wisely pulled it down. Wilkerson gets it over to Gray. They're going to try to go down low to Cowser, I believe, in the box. Ball stolen. Nice hands by Barber.
Yeah, it looked like Dane might have been trying to get it over to Cowser.
And Barber with a running one-hander scores for the Bulldogs, and the Storm call a timeout with 5:02 left to go in the first. It's 40-16. Storm leading the Bulldogs here in the men's final.
As a Cape Fear grad, you have options. Maybe too many options. ready, get started at Cape Fear.
Been so successful with.
We are back here on the campus of Cape Fear Community College Sports Center. It's a beautiful arena here. It seats about 1,400, and there's a lot of fans here from both sides to watch this final game between the Storm of Davidson Davie Community College and the Pitt Bulldogs. And right now, the Storm in control, 40-16 at the 5:02 mark of the first half, Kevin.
Yeah, it's been all Storm so far, much to the dismay of the Pitt fans who've traveled well and that we've enjoyed. They've been loud out in here all week. But right now, they're hoping their Bulldogs can make a run.
Barber goes in, misses the shot, and Patrick can't control the rebound. It goes out of bounds off the Bulldogs. It'll be Storm ball.
I mentioned the Pitt fans. Some of the most vocal fans here, they're supporting their team not that far away, so they've traveled pretty good. Always a good contingency from their program. So they've been loud and vocal supporting them, which is what we love here at the Region 10 tournament. Love for the fans to show up, have a good time.
I love and Pitt always brings the prop. I love the prop they bring to the game. It's the big dog bone with the dog collar on it, the big bulldog collar.
They set the tone. They like to set the tone.
They do.
Assistant coach carries it around before the game, and so they establish a tone of the play, coming in meaning business, right? And that they play a tough physical brand of basketball, and they've got a great program, as evidenced by the fact that they've made it to the championship game here this week at Wilmington.
English from the free throw line misses his first. And, you know, I'll tell you, Coach Mullins, Derek Mullins, in his 14th season, I mean, he has taken his Pitt team to the national tourney. They did it back in 2019 and actually won a game up there. They were 1-2, I think, in that tourney. So they've been there before.
Oh, yeah, he's a successful coach and a good guy. He came up to us before the game and just showing appreciation for all the volunteers here along the scorer's table. Just a very classy guy.
Well, we appreciate both coaches and all they do for these young men and their assistants as well. Patrick inside, nice little hook shot for his first bucket. 41-18 now. Cowser. Thought they might get Lamonte with a charge there, but they're going to call Burton with a blocking foul. Lamonte going to go back to the free throw line. Already in double digits for Cowser. He's got 10. Lamonte misses his first free throw. And Lamonte misses both free throws, and McCray back in the ball game gets the rebound.
Yeah, Lamonte just 4 of 7 on the night from the free throw line. It's right about his average, but we usually see him in bigger games, so knock him down. But he struggled. He's missed 2 in a row now.
Patrick with a jump shot. It's good. I tell you, he's starting to be the offense that the Bulldogs needed off the bench. They've cut it to 21, 41-20, and there's timeout on the court at the 3:48 mark. We'll keep it here. I wanted to shout out to a couple of people. Bryson Snare calling out Pitt, says great transition defense. You've also got Benjamin Parker, keep playing well, son. That's Kobe's father. Says, let's go Storm. He's watching from Frankenmuth, Michigan. And I wanted also to give a shout out to head coach Matt Ridge's parents who couldn't make the trip, but they are listening tonight, and they've got to be really proud of their son. I mean, regular season champs 17 times, or co-champs 17 times in 18 seasons. He's been coach of the year 11 times, maybe something to that effect. Just a great job. His record, fantastic. He's got like an 84% winning percentage.
Right. The program that's been built there in Lexington is really second to none in Division II. He was Division III for many years. They had a lot of success there. moved up to Division II, spent 1 year where they were about 500 in conference play, and they've won the regular season championship and the tournament championship every year since then.
Yep.
So a lot of success for Davidson Davie, and that program continues to be good this year, as we're seeing here in the final.
In the 18 seasons, he's only had one season that they didn't win 20-plus games. I mean, that's just a phenomenal job. Coach Ridge's parents got to be proud of him. 3:30 left to go here in the first half. Jamal Crisp with a nice pass from Ethan English. Burton, nice little bank shot, 2-point shot.
That's Burton's first points of the game. Again, he scored 23 earlier in the season against the Storm, so if Bulldogs can maybe get somebody rolling, they'd love to see it be him.
Well, just as they start to eat into the lead, Jalen Wilkerson kind of stops that run with a three of his own.
And that's his second three-pointer on the night so far. The Storm have hit 4 on the night. Wilkerson, 2 of them.
Burton working on Wilkerson. Nice spin move inside, met by Aiden Taylor, and McCrae's going to get the putback. That's American's 4th point. Now he's one that if he gets hot, Pitt can get back in this thing quick.
Yeah, absolutely. McCrae's one that, I mean, he averages 18 a game, and we've seen several times he's gone far over that. So if McCrae can get going, the Bulldogs can close the gap pretty quick. But the most important thing is defensive stops right now.
Well, Wilkerson misses a short jumper. Burton snags the rebound, and Pitt can cut into the lead. That's going to be a foul on Wilkerson on Jaquan Curry. That's the 19th foul on Davidson Davie. That is Wilkerson's second foul, and Curry's going to go back to the free throw line.
Yeah, you know, we're talking a lot about the absence of scoring for Pitt. At some point, though, they've got to be able to stop the Storm. 2:08 left, and the Storm on pace to score well over 100. They've got 46 right now, would likely eclipse the 50-point mark here in the first half. It's going to be hard to keep them, you know, hard to give Davidson Davie an L if they're going to get 100 points on you. Curry steps to the line, 6 of 7 on the night. He's hit his last 5 free throws.
So if you're Pitt, your goal in this last 2 minutes and 8 seconds is have a little bit of run. You want to get this thing under 20 going into the break.
Yeah, I think if you give yourself a confidence, I think the most important thing is to step up defensively and try to maybe not let the Storm score it off. You can get 3 straight possessions here where you keep them off of the scoring column, and you can come down and get a couple of buckets yourself, get it under 20. Going to give you a lot of confidence going into the second half. There's a big difference between being down 21 and being, say, down 15.
14 points now for Jaquan Curry. Back to a 20-point game. Storm up 46-26. Under 2 minutes now to go in the half. And Monte Cowser trying to get the loose ball. They're going to go to the free throw line. I think they're going to get Amarion McCrae with a foul. And they will.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for McCrae. He was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It was a scrum for the basketball that was on the ground. McCrae just ended up falling down and really underneath the legs of Lamonte Cowser. There wasn't a whole lot McCrae could do.
Cowser will go back to the free throw line. And gets that one to rattle in. It's 11 points now for the Region 10 Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. Gets them both. See Lamonte's father standing over by the entry door over there. He has to lean. He's so tall, he has to lean to come in. Full court pressure for the Storm. Up by 22 with 1:40 left. Jaquan Curry's been the man for Pitt here in the first half. Drives to the bucket, puts up a shot that's short, and Kauser is going to get the rebound. Ortiz pushes it to Kobe Parker. Parker tries to get it to Ortiz, but throws that one away, and Will Gray's going to steal it, and the Storm are going to come back this way. Oh, beautiful pass by Aiden Taylor to Will Gray. Couldn't finish, and then Norwood blocks his shot.
Must have been McCray.
McCray, yeah. Will Gray had 2 chances right there around the bucket and couldn't get him to go down. Of course, McCray had something to do with that.
Oh, yeah, McCray, we talked about it before the game, just watching him in front of us. Very athletic young man, strong. He's going to have some good opportunities, I'm sure, at the next level.
Kobe Parker drives, creates some space on Curry and hits the jumper. That's for 2. 50-26 now, under a minute left to go in the first half.
Kobe's now got 8 on the evening so far as the Storm get that lead back to 24. And we talked about Pitt trying to cut into it, get it under 20. And right now they're going to the free throw line, so they've still got a chance to do it. They're fighting back, but they've just been unable to break through that mark.
Foul's going to be called on Javier Ortiz, and that's going to send Clarence Burton to the free throw line. That is the 9th team foul on Davidson Davie. Burton's free throw is good. What do you have Burton with?
Burton's just 3 so far on the game.
So he did get a field goal earlier. Looking for his 4th point. And got it. Got it to go in. 41 seconds left to go in the half. We'll keep it here. The Storm lead at 50-28. There's time out on the court. But Kevin, Pitt did make a little bit of a run, but the Storm hit timely 3-point shot by Wilkerson, and then they've been going inside, getting to the free throw line, and they've kind of held the Bulldogs at bay.
Yeah, I mean, every time Pitt has made a run, the Storm have been able to get out in transition, and that's one of the things that, again, I think I mentioned it earlier. The last 2 games, they just haven't done as much, but tonight, as soon as they get a rebound, they're off to the races, and they're going. And, you know, that's been the difference for them is buckets in transition. Even though they've missed a couple around the rim, the bottom line is they're getting a lot of point-blank looks, and they're making good on them.
It'll be Storm basketball. Javier Ortiz brings it up against the pressure. That ball saved by Wilkerson. That was a great save. He almost came over into our lap here. Wilkerson with a 3, misses. The ball's going to go off of Taylor. It'll be Pitt ball, and Pitt has a chance to eat a little bit into the lead here. Lamonte Kauser are going to be whistled for that foul, and that's going to be Burton at the free throw line. He'll shoot 2, double bonus. Both teams now, the last 27 seconds of the half.
Pitt taking advantage of the free throw line. They're 11 of 14, 79% so far on the evening. Storm good for 74% themselves. If you want to win a championship, you got to do it at the free throw line sometimes. Take every bucket you can.
Absolutely. Burton gets them both. It's a 20-point game. Storm can play for the last shot here before the half. And English is going to hold it out. He'll go with about 8 seconds left. Gets it over to Taylor. Taylor's going to kick it back to English. Now there is 8 seconds left, and Ethan will drive to the bucket. Gets double teamed, kicks it over to Taylor. Taylor heaves up a 3-point shot. It's no good. And at the break, the Storm are going to go into the locker room up by 20, and they're 20 minutes away from punching their ticket to Danville, Illinois.
And the Grammy goes to Pecados y Milagros by Lila Downs.
Thank you so much, Mama, for feeding me through my belly button the wisdom and the strength to love through music. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Viva México.
Where's Napoleon? That gets a spot for boss.
Go!
Well, we're back here at the half on the campus of Cape Fear Community College. This is the Joe and Barbara Schwartz Center, and this is the Region 10 Division II men's basketball championship game. And right now, the Storm in at the half, up by 20 over the Pitt Bulldogs. DDCC leads 50-30. And Kevin, you want to run down the scoring leaders from the first half?
Yeah, I mean, leading the way for both teams, I think Jaquan Curry. He's got 14. Really, he came out on fire, and he's hit 8 of 9 from the free throw line. So he has stepped up, kind of carried the team on his shoulders early. If you look over at the Storm, Lamonte Cowser, the player of the year, Region 10 Player of the Year, he's got 12. He's been to the free throw line 9 times himself. He's connected on 6 of those. Other scorers, Dane Stewart with 5, Taylor 8, English 3, Kobe Parker 8, Wilkerson with 6, Crisp with 7. If you look over at Pitt, again, it's primarily been Curry. He's got the 14. Got some other guys pitch in. I mean, Clarence Burton, he has 6. Mario McCray, 4. Kanan Patrick, he's got 4. And Amari Barber, he has 2 on the game. I think the story right now is Pitt's really relying on their guys besides Curry that typically don't do a lot of scoring. That's who they need right now. That's who they've depended on to get to 30 points. It was just the one stretch, Miles, in that first half. We talked about it at the 16-minute timeout. So you're 4 minutes in. Pitt had 8 points. It was a 15-8 ball game. If you fast forward to the under 8 timeout, it was 33-10. So in that 8-minute time frame, the Storm were able to really cash in and really spread out a lead. The rest of the first half was played right around that 20 to 24 point mark. But Pitt's biggest issue right now is that they haven't been able to crash the board. Maybe some of that early foul trouble that you saw Pitt get in with Baylor, right, where he's unable to crash the boards and really create chaos. The Storm were able to get the boards, get out in transition. Their heads were up immediately and kicking the ball ahead for some easy buckets. And I think that was the biggest difference that you saw.
Yeah, I think the foul trouble for the big guys for Pitt, certainly in my mind, a big difference. You had Baylor picking up 2 fouls in less than 2 minutes. I think it was like a minute and 50 seconds into the game. Jaquan already had 2 fouls. He went out. He didn't go out. He stayed in for a little bit. Then he went out. And when they brought him back in, he was on the court for 5 seconds, and he got called for an offensive foul. So 3 fouls put him on the bench. His replacement, Hunter Greenling, he's also got 3 fouls. So the big guys are in trouble for Pitt. I think another thing that has been something that has been part of the 20-point lead for the Storm is they've shut out McCray, Amari McCray, who last night had 30 points in the win against Bryan and Stratton. Really has not been a factor in this game. It's been really good defense on him, shutdown defense by Aiden Taylor and also Ethan English when they've alternated in the ball games. I also think McCray got injured last night late in that game against the Bobcats, had that calf cramp, and sometimes those are hard to come back from. He did come back in the game last night and played well, but after a night off, after overnight, those things can bother you the next day, and he just doesn't look like he looked last night. But again, the Storm defense has had something to do with that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, the Storm, we talked about it early. Ethan English, Aiden Taylor, both able to really stick on McCray. They've tried to use some screens, some off-ball screens to get McCray open, but Storm have been fighting through that effectively, lots of communication there. And so it's been really difficult for the Bulldogs to get the ball to McCray. However, as we've talked about earlier in the game as well, the game at Pitt was one that the Storm had a heavy lead throughout most of that game. In fact, it was still 12 to 13 points late in the game, and Pitt was able to make a run. It's only 20 points. It's only 20 minutes. So 1 point a minute. If you're the Pitt Bulldogs, that's what you're preaching right now to your team because they can absolutely make a comeback. The season might be on the line. I bet you the Pitt Bulldogs are going to lay it all out right here.
Well, Pitt is not noted for their three-point shooting. They're, I think, at the bottom of the region in 3 points made for the season at 116. They shoot under 30% from the charity stripe, but they don't have to take threes. I mean, they can still play their game, but they've got to get that inside game working, and they've got to stay out of foul trouble in the second half. So we will see how that shapes up. But right now, everything belonging to the Storm. The winner of this game is going to get their ticket punched to Danville, Illinois. They'll be up there starting March 17th for that national tourney, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And both of these teams, want to get there, and the winner of this gets the automatic bid.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal, is the automatic bid. Leave nothing on the table and make it to Danville. It's a fun trip. I've been out there myself, Miles. Great place, a great tournament that they put on there. Tons of volunteers from the community. It really is a big event there, and you want to go out there and play with the best. Well, that's where you got to go. But first, you got to get through Friday night in Wilmington.
Want to fact check myself. We were talking about Coach Ridge a little bit ago, talking about Coach Ridge's parents listening from Lexington, North Carolina. He was Region 10. He has been Region 10 Coach of the Year 11 times. District 7 Coach of the Year, I think a total of 7 times. So a lot of honors there for Coach Ridge. I do want to shout out to Jasmine Spain, Bulldog Strong, Dawn Parker. She's pulling for Kobe. Danetta Gabriel pulling for the Storm. She says, keep your foot on the gas pedal. DeAndre Parker again shouting in. That is Kobe's mom. That's Kobe's mom, I believe. Laura Hurd, I think probably some connection to Brian, the coach of the Fayetteville Tech Trojans. Appreciate both of you guys for the fantastic job you guys are doing. We appreciate that a whole lot, Laura, and we appreciate Coach Hurd and for he is the Region 10 Coach of the Year this year. Great job with the Trojans, and they just fell a little short last night, but they've got a lot to be proud of. And then Tanya Harrell says, come on, Bulldogs, bite back. So a lot of folks chiming in on the YouTube live chat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you mentioned Coach Hurd, and I think it's a great example. We've talked about it there in the course of this week of how many great coaches there are. We see 2 of them here in this contest, Coach Mullins and his staff, what they've been able to build, Coach Ridge, Coach Hurd, Bagwell, Coach Bagwell at Lewisburg. The list goes on and on of the great coaches here, and some of these schools that have newer programs like Fayetteville Tech or Brad McDougall at Central Carolina, having moved up more recently to Division II. The great job that these coaches do, it's outstanding. It's what's made this such a very good region at the Division II level for men's basketball. Hey, while you're doing a correction, I want to make a correction real quick. Got some of the official scoring, and we missed one on Kobe Parker. Kobe Parker has 9 at the half. Okay. He hit a pair of free throws, and I believe we both missed one of those. So Parker,
I knew we were off somewhere.
We thought we were, Miles. It happens occasionally.
I also, Kevin, I wanted to say when we're talking about the coaches, the head coaches, and the job they do. They've got a lot of help from the assistant coaches. Coach Ridge, of course, Josh Allen has been there for 7 years with him. Corey Dumas in his 2nd year for the Storm. And you've got Dwight Morrissey and Roderick Ford, Kelvin Jones, and Dwayne Felder that help out the Pitt Community College Bulldogs and Coach Mullen. So it takes a team of people, and we wanted to give those guys a shout-out.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see on the screen here, a couple minutes left before the half, and both teams out here warming up. I think for Pitt right now, you understand what's on the line. They come out here, they look hungry right now. Heads are not held low. They're coming out here ready to try to win this ball game. So I think they'll come out hungrier in the second half. Davidson, Davie out here as well. They know what's on the line. They've been here. They know how to get this done, but they've got to close this out.
Still 20 minutes of basketball left to be played. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to Cape Fear Community College for the second half right after this.
Perfect combo includes 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. So we were asking real people how much they think all of this costs.
35, 45, 50.
$19.99. I'm about to order that when I get home. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
We are back here to Cape Fear Community College, the Joe and Barbara Schwartz Center, and this is the Region 10 Division II Men's Basketball Championship. The final game, it's been we've seen a lot of great basketball here over the last couple of days. 7 games in 3 days, Kevin, and I'm going to be sad when this one's over. I want to do more.
I know, right? I mean, such a great quarterfinal day where all 4 of the games really were close contests. Maybe you saw some double-figure margins at the end, but really those games were great all the way through. And then, boy, last night we saw two absolutely good ball games, and especially at Pitt and Brighton Stratton, man. That came right down to the wire. Tonight's been it's a bit of a spread right now for Davidson Davie, but folks, I'd hang on and let's keep watching this one because I got to believe the Pitt Bulldogs have something left in the tank, and they probably made some adjustments at halftime. I know Coach Mullen's a great coach, and he's going to come out and have his team ready to go.
I also want to thank the SID here at the school, Jessica Clark. She's done a great job, and Ryan Mantlow, the director of athletics here. They're also hosting the women's tournament, so they've already had 4 games here today. This one will make the 5th one, so they've been here for a lot of basketball, and we certainly appreciate them and for their hospitality here. Well, for the Storm, Lamonte Calzer, you got Jamal Crisp, Ethan English, Aiden Taylor, and Dane Stewart. And for the Bulldogs, you're going to have Amarion McCray, Jaquan Curry. Back in is Jaquan Baylor. Got Norwood in the game, and the guy with the ball is Xylee Bazemore. McCray cutting to the ball, but he couldn't get there, and that's going to go out of bounds. Not the way Pitt wanted to start the second half.
No, it isn't. You know that you need to build some momentum, and you got 20 minutes to do it, and it's not the kind of start that you want. But again, still 19 minutes, 51 seconds left on the clock. Bulldogs got to be able to create some turnovers of their own and get some guys involved in the scoring column.
See if the Storm are going to go inside to the big guy, and they do. Calzer are going to spin inside, and that ball is blocked. Jaquan Baylor with a nice block, but Jamal Crisp gets the loose ball and the putback. Good hustle by Jamal. Rayshawn Boston now with the basketball, working on Dane Stewart, gets it over to Curry. Curry drives in, and that ball blocked by Ethan English.
It's a good recovery by English because they missed the switch.
Beautiful pass from Stewart to English to Crisp for the dunk. That's great, unselfish teamwork there by the Storm. Baylor going to muscle it in against Calzer. Can't get it, but a good tip there by Norwood. Good job of crashing the boards by Traven. That's Traven's first points of the ball game. Calzer, strong to the hole, and the Storm going right at Pitt. 56-32.
Yeah, and good recognition by Calzer, understanding there's only but so much Baylor can do to try to stop him in his position with the fouls he's got.
Boy, McCray caught Aiden Taylor in the mouth. Let's see if Aiden's okay. Unintentional, but Aiden is trying to shake that one off. Calzer with a jump shot. That ball's blocked again by Baylor. Best shot blocker in the league, maybe in the nation. There's McCray. Gets the bucket and the foul. Foul's going to be on Calzer.
Well, I'm going to give it assist to Baylor. Baylor recognizes where Calzer's at and just casually moves Calzer down the line to where he really can't get around him to try to take the charge against McCray on that. So Baylor a heads-up play trying to maneuver Calzer with that big body of his.
McCray trying to finish off the three-point play here. He does. 56-35. Storm break that pressure. Nice pass inside. A little bit too much mustard on it. Crisp couldn't hold on to it, and Crisp comes up limping. He's going to have to come out of the game. Foul's going to be on McCray, but I don't know if Crisp can stay in.
He's going to gut it out.
Boy, he looked to the bench to get him out.
That's the knee that's been hurting him, and he's actually holding at it right now.
Wednesday against Central Carolina on a play, he hit the goal support with his foot, twisted his foot, jammed his knee, and it's not been right since.
And speaking of injuries, back to our right, back behind the Bulldog bench, I'm seeing Jaquan Curry maybe with a muscle cramp that he's trying to get worked out, so he's unavailable for the Bulldogs right now, maybe why he's not in this game.
Well, he's a guy they certainly will need. There's a foul on Crisp as Boston drives to the bucket. They will need Curry if they want to get back in this ball game.
He's stretching it out right now. He got some assistance from the training staff for the Bulldogs, but clearly not quite where he wants to be yet.
Ishan Boston, a 71% free throw shooter, looking for his first points of the game. And Boston can cut the lead to 19 with a make here. Jalen Wilkerson's going to come in for Jamal Crisp. And Rayshawn Boston leaves that one a little short. Still a 20-point Storm lead. Wilkerson thought about the three, pulled it down. English going to drive, and that ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. He was looking to hit Aiden Taylor.
Yeah, he was. Wilkerson right over here in front of us. He had a good look at it. I know it was still early in the shot clock, but he's one that can knock those down.
Well, he's got the green light, too. 16 seconds on the shot clock. They get the ball into Cowser, and that ball again is blocked by Baylor, making his presence felt. And on the break, Rayshawn Boston gets the layup. And that's a 56-38, 18-point Storm lead. That ball almost came into our laps. Taylor. That ball knocked away, and here come the Bulldogs trying to mount a comeback. Burton. Got a little bit of a mismatch there with the big guy on Aiden Taylor, and he can't get it to go down. Had a good look at it. Cowser muscles in on Norwood. It won't go, and Baylor gets the rebound. Pitt starting to do a better job on the glass now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an Achilles heel in the first half. A lot of second chance points for the Storm. Not so much at the moment, and they're looking to cut into this lead further.
Jamal Crisp, Will Gray at the scores table. They will check in at the next stoppage of play, and Amarian McCray gets that one to go as he cuts the lead now to 16. Pitt trying to make a comeback.
McCray suddenly getting involved here in the second half. He's got 5.
Pitt ratcheting up that pressure just a little bit more. There's a steal by McCray. They're going to run with it. Pass to Norwood. He dunks it. And the Pitt fans now are on their feet. It's a 14-point Storm lead. Cowser gets blocked by Baylor, but they're going to call Jaquan for his 4th foul, and he swatted down at that one, and that'll draw the whistle most times.
Two big things I've seen here over the last couple of minutes. Pitt Bulldogs have been much stronger around the rim. Davidson Davie, though, is being a little sloppy with the ball and not making crisp, smart passes.
Coach Mullins tells Jaquan Barber as he comes off the floor, you got to go straight up, young man. 56-42. That's a big foul on Baylor because he was starting to make his presence felt. Had about 3 blocks here in the second half, but on that block attempt, he came down and got a piece of Cowser. Well, we've got timeout on the court, 15:43. We're going to keep it here. Let's keep it here, 56-42. Storm lead it over the Bulldogs. But, Kevin, the Bulldogs starting to show a little bit of life here.
Yeah, and like we said, there's no way they were going to walk out of this arena tonight having not left everything on the court. And you can see it right now. McCray's trying to get on fire. Baylor's trying to play his best right now. They're going to leave it all out here. And right now they've been able to cut into this lead. If they keep hitting the boards and can actually take advantage of some of the turnovers that the Storm are committing, they're going to be able to claw right back into it. We got it down to 14 right now. It's like Baylor's going to stay in the game.
Yeah, Baylor's going to stay in. And, with 4 fouls, I mean, this is the last. I mean, this is it. You got to keep guys in here. There's 15:43 left to go, and Jaquan's a smart player, But you got to think he's not going to be as aggressive as he typically is.
If you're the Storm, you can go right at him right now.
Lamonte is going to get his 15th point. We haven't seen Jaquan Curry back on the court, have we?
No, he got a lot of attention from the trainer, and I hope it's not a situation where he can't make it back in, because I would hate for him to not be able to participate in this game, because you know the Bulldogs want to see him in there.
Baylor with a rebound and driving to the bucket. Boston is going to be whistled for a charging foul, and good defensive play there by Kobe Parker, and Boston's a little shaken up. Hit the floor hard, and he is holding that right arm very still. Storm with the basketball. And with a 15-point lead, 57-42. Kobe Parker from 3 in the corner. That ball partially blocked.
Yeah, somebody got a hand
and that'll
on
be
that one.
Pitt ball.
Oh, okay. The referees are saying not. It looked pretty clearly that the shot was blocked.
Yeah, Coach Ridge not happy with that call, but it's going to be Pitt basketball, and Pitt has a chance to cut into that lead. McCray gets it over to Burton. Burton loses the ball. Good hustle there by Aiden Taylor, and here comes the Storm. 3-on-2 break. Kobe Parker can't get it to go, and there's going to be a whistle and a foul. And they're going to call this one. This one might be on Burton. It is. They're going to call it on Clarence Burton. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was tough to tell what was going on in there. There were 3 players, 2 Storm players and Burton together.
Aiden Taylor's going to come out. Ethan English will check back in. 4th team foul in the second half now for the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs are really getting their hands on a lot of passes, creating a lot of deflections.
Crisp inside.
Got 13 on the night.
Yep, he's got the bucket, and the Storm now back up by 17.
Yeah.
Baylor with a nice follow-up on the rebound. He's got 4 points, and it's back to a 15-point lead for the Storm. Baylor still making a difference in the paint. Nice pass inside to English, kicks it back out to Dane Stewart, who misses the 3. And Burton can't control the rebound.
Well, that's where you see the presence of Baylor, because Ethan English was 8 feet in the air and passed it back out to Dane Stewart.
Norwood with the steal goes strong to the bucket, and Will Gray is going to pick up a hard foul. That'll be Will Sackett, team's 4th. And that's going to send Norwood to the free throw line. Correction, that's the team's 3rd. Norwood, the sophomore out of Conley, Georgia, can make this a 14-point ball game, but misses the free throw. Lamonte Cowser, Aiden Taylor checking in. Jamal Crisp coming out for the Storm.
Yeah, overall, the Bulldogs have shot reasonably well from the free throw line, 74%, but Norwood, with that miss, is at 0 for 3 for the night, so they'd love to see him knock this one down.
That one looked good. It's a 14-point lead for the Storm. Full court pressure by Pitt. Storm break that. And Dane Stewart going to set up the half-court offense for Davidson Davie. Aiden Taylor going right at the big guy. Dane Stewart drives the lane, kicks it off to English, and Ethan English trying to hit Kobe Parker wide open on the corner, throws it away.
You know, and that's just disciplined closeouts every single pass by the Pitt Bulldogs right there, and the Storm started to press when it got under 10. Threw the ball away to Kobe Parker in the corner.
Pitt is going to make a game out of this yet.
And if you're Davidson Davie, suddenly you feel like you probably need a stop.
There's going to be, Norwood and Ethan English going at it, and they're going to call English. No, they're going to call them both with fouls. So Norwood and English both get charged with a foul. Three fouls now on Ethan. That is the first foul on Traven Norwood.
So now the referees are talking to the security personnel. Not sure what may have been said over there. Clearly we're not privy to everything going on in the stands, but it's a fiery situation. Maybe might call it some tension in here. It's championship day, though, and Wilmington.
Fans are very vocal from both sides, and Lamonte Cowser going for the steal on Barber gets a foul. And that's going to send the big guy, Jaquan Baylor. Keep calling him Barber, it's Baylor. Baylor's going to go to the free throw line to shoot some free throws.
I think it's just the fifth team foul.
It's just the fifth team foul, you're right.
Everyone was walking to the free throw line.
He wanted to shoot some free throws.
Yes, he did. He's up for it. We talked about last night, smooth stroke. His free throw percentage is not indicative of how it's looked over this week.
Yeah, he's shot well in this tournament for sure from the charity stripe. Ball knocked out of bounds off the Storm. And Norwood will inbound it underneath the Bulldog basket. McCray. Shot blocked by Aiden Taylor.
Now I would encourage both Ethan English and Norwood to kind of stop the chatter between each other. They've continued it over the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that won't end well.
No. They both, for the sake of their teams, need to maybe get their heads right going down the stretch here.
That's right. Kobe Parker from three for the Storm. Rims out. And Aiden Taylor is there to grab the offensive glass. There's a tie-up, and that's going to be Pitt Bulldog basketball.
Well, the amount of physicality has ratcheted up tremendously in the last 90 seconds on the court.
Well, you can feel the energy coming across the court from the stands, and it's that way on the court as well. I mean, the level has gone up quite a few notches here in the building. Storm going to full court press. McCray gets it into Boston, and he'll bring it up against Dane Stewart. A lot of time left to go in this one. 12:35 in this championship game. Burton working on Parker. Gets around the screen from the big guy. There's a three from Norwood. Off the mark. Cowser gets the rebound, and the Storm want to run. English is going to get the bucket over Norwood. 5 points now for Ethan. And McCray gets fouled as he goes to the basket. The shot goes in. It's good, and the foul is going to be on Aiden Taylor. That's his second. McCray's starting to heat up a little bit now.
Yeah, yes. He's got 7 here in the second half. We talked about it, that he had the ability to score a lot of points, and that Pitt really needed to get him going, and right now that's starting to happen.
16 foul for the Storm. Next one will put the Bulldogs in the bonus. It was a 20-point lead coming out of the half, and Amarian McCray with this free throw can cut it to 13. Aiden Taylor going to come out. Jamal Crisp checking back in for the Storm. McCray's had a lot of time to think about this free throw.
Yeah, he has.
He gets it. He's an 80% free throw shooter. 61-48. Storm go right at the big guy, Kauser. Again, nice job by Baylor of going straight up that time. And we've got a whistle.
We're going to get the under 12, I believe.
Going to have a foul. That's going to be on Lamonte Kauser. That's going to be Lamonte's fourth. And we've got the 11:51. At the 11:51 mark, we've got a break in the action. We're going to return here to Cape Fear Community College right after this. The Storm leading 61-48. No, he's coming back. We are back here at the Schwartz Center, and we have got a good final. Pitt was down by 20 at the break, 50-30, but they are making a game of this thing, Kevin, 61-48, and they're doing it by doing a better job in the paint, attacking the rim on both sides of the ball, and they're making some shots and going to the free throw line.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Baylor's been able to be a force, and he's gotten some rebounds here in the second half that with his absence in the first half they just weren't able to get, and they've got out and gotten running, and they've gotten up the court, and they've gotten transition points of their own. Storm have been a little sloppy with the ball here and there, but right now Pitt's cut into that lead. Now over the past 4 minutes it's been right about where it was at, 14, 13 points, but right now you feel a little bit of momentum on the Pitt side.
Somebody's going to punch their ticket when it's all said and done to Danville, Illinois, to play for the national championship, and this game is not decided yet. 11:49, and to the free throw line is going to be Tamir Moore.
You feel the tension from Coach Mullins to our right. Boy, he looked around as his team came out, and he took a really deep breath. He knows what's on the line, and I think he feels the emotion right now as well.
Well, he's a competitor, let me tell you. Moore's first free throw is good. Second free throw is also good, and we've got an 11-point ball game. Full court pressure by the Bulldogs. Ethan English gets it over to Kobe Parker. Storm break the press nicely.
But again, the presence of Baylor there underneath the rim. Kobe Parker didn't even think about attacking.
Baylor and Kauser with 4 fouls apiece. Kauser goes in strong. Uncontested layup there. 17 points now for Lamonte.
4 fouls apiece, that could be uncontested layup after uncontested layup. They might just trade them back and forth.
It could very well be.
Something may have to give, though. 11 minutes left to go, and both of those guys with 4.
McCray, pull-up jumper in the lane. It's beautiful. 14 points now for Marian. How many did he have at the break?
He had 4. Right now he's got 10 in the second half.
He's picking up the slack. They've missed Jaquan Curry for most of this half with cramps. Kobe Parker can't get that 3. And McCray going to drive it down inside, and he goes in for another quick layup. And now it's under 10, 63-54, 9-point game. Kauser goes around Baylor, but Baylor is going to get the rebound on the Kauser miss. And McCray's going to be fouled. And McCray now starting to take over here at Cape Fear Community College. That foul's going to be on Dane Stewart.
Well, this is the type of basketball game that we expected when we walked into the arena tonight.
Well, we talked about somebody was going to have to pick up some of the scoring, and, you know, Curry had pretty much the first half carried Pitt. And we were wondering when McCray was going to show up because he had 30 points last night. Let me tell you, he's showing up big time right now in the second half for the Bulldogs. 17 points for Amarian, and it's now an 8-point Storm lead, 63-55. Now Next shot by McCray is good. 63-58. We got a timeout at the 10:21 mark. It's going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back to the Schwartz Center after this.
The Grammy goes to Pecados y Milagros by Lila Downs.
Thank you so much, Mama, for feeding me through my belly button the wisdom and the strength to love through music. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Viva Mexico.
Right now.
We're back at the Schwartz Center. Kevin Garner and Miles Poole. And Kevin, Pitt down by 20 at the break, but they have made this thing a ball game now. It's a 7-point game. Storm lead at 63-56. What's gotten Pitt back into the contest?
Well, I think they've been able to get their hands on the basketball. It's caused a lot of deflections. Most importantly, I think they have not allowed any second chance points for the Storm. And when the Storm have got out of transition, they've actually been kind of holding up. Baylor's been able to maintain his presence despite some foul trouble. And you can tell when the Storm are coming across the half-court line, with Baylor sitting back there, which is where Pitt has him, they're not attacking the rim. And one might say, look, you got to go after and try to get that fifth foul. Now, if you're Pitt and you're seeing Baylor and Cowser is on him, I know McCray's playing well, but I might almost go right at Cowser every time and see if you can pick up that fifth foul, because I don't know how much Cowser's going to be able to do against the Mountain that is Baylor.
Well, Pitt again with a full court pressure. Taylor breaks that, and Ethan English feeds it inside to a drive-in Lamonte Cowser, and again, Baylor was there, but not a lot he could do about that.
Right, and I think both teams need to be recognizing that right now. If I'm Pitt, I would go right at that same situation on their end offensively.
Rayshawn Boston gets it over to McCray. Elevates, gets the jump shot. He has got a sweet little short jumper. He's got 20 now. Norwood out on Aiden Taylor. They get it inside to Cowser, back out to Taylor from three. That's a big-time shot. Great ball movement by the Storm.
I do believe that's the first three of the second half for the Storm. Pitt has now hit one in the game.
On the other end, Tamir Moore has something to say about that with a wide open three. 68-61. Both of these teams leaving it all out on the court. Aiden Taylor from three again. He misses, and Baylor snags the rebound.
Well, there's nobody from Davidson Davie crashing the boards on that three-pointer like they were in the first half.
McCray getting double team, kicks it out to a wide open Rayshawn Boston for three. That's his 6th point. It's a 4-point Storm lead. Pitt's chipped 16 points off of that 20-point halftime lead. And now it's anybody's game again. Taylor going to drive to the bucket this time, and that's going to be a charge. Really good defensive positioning by Marion McCray. That's 3 on Taylor. Ninth team foul for the Storm.
Storm now with just 18 points in the second half. Bulldogs have 34.
The official's going to wipe up some moisture there on the court. And the Storm are going to go to some full court pressure now. Trying to change the shift the momentum, but right now it's all in favor of Pitt. McCray gets it over to Boston, who brings it up against Aiden Taylor. Rayshawn Boston and gets it to McCray. That's the guy that they want to have the ball, but it's stripped by Ethan English. and Ethan English goes hard to the hole. He's going to be fouled. And the foul is going to be called on Jaquan Curry, who is back in the ball game. 16 foul on the Bulldogs. English will go to the line to shoot 2. Timeout on the court. We'll keep it here at 7:54 mark. Boy, the fans are really hitting the live chat up. You've got Cameron Austin, who's all over it for Pitt. Danetta Gabriel for the Storm. Dan Truey says, finish strong, Storm, run the offensive sets and knock down some shots. Alina Freeman in for Pitt. Brianna Torres for the Storm.
It's a good ball game here.
It is a great ball game.
Inside of the Schwartz in the campus of Cape Fear Community College in beautiful downtown Wilmington. This game has matched everything else that we have seen to date in this Region 10 tournament over the prior 2 days. This is what we thought we'd see out of these two teams. Again, they played it to a 2-point contest and a 15-point game that, honestly, at Davidson Davie was a lot closer than the 15 points would have indicated.
Yep.
It was similar to this most of that game, and the Storm were able to pull away towards the end. But we're seeing everything we can. Still curious if we see the re-entry of Jaquan Curry, but right now the Bulldogs have been doing it without him. I think the presence of Baylor has been impressive inside, and boy, I tell you what, if you're a 4-year coach looking at him and you're saying, hey, as a big guy, he's playing smart. A couple times this week, he's played with foul trouble, and he's been able to make his way through it and still be a presence in the game.
Well, Pitt came into this tournament as the number 3 seed, but they faced last night the number 2 seed, Bryan and Stratton, and they did something last night that's very tough to do. They beat Bryan and Stratton for the 3rd time to advance to this game, and they're giving the Storm all they can handle right now. Ethan English, first free throw is good. He's got 6, and the Storm now back up by 5 with 7:54 left. Ethan's second shot is good. 70-64. Every possession matters now. Rayshawn Boston trying to find a way inside. Then a running one-hander by Boston looks pretty. 70-66. Pitt keeping that pressure on the Storm. Storm trying to answer. Kobe Parker from the corner. He's wide open, left alone. That's his 10th. 12th point.
Second three-pointer on the contest.
73-66.
Comes at a big time, and boy, Boston got away with a slide of the foot right there on travel near the half court.
Seven-minute mark now. Baylor inside. Gonna be fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. The foul will be on Aiden Taylor. 4 on Aiden. 2 shots for Jaquan Baylor.
Storm starting to rack up a lot of fouls.
Yeah, that's 10 team fouls. Double bonus rest of the way for the Bulldogs. And that was a bank shot. Free throw is good by Baylor.
Just his 3rd point of the night, but I'm going to tell you, he hasn't needed to score tonight to impact this ball game.
Misses the next one. 6-point lead now, 73-67. Free throws could be important down the stretch in a close game like this. Pitt needs those. Kobe Parker again open for 3. This one's off the mark, but Dane Stewart gets the rebound. Jamal Crisp from 3, short. Baylor gets the rebound, and here come the Bulldogs. 3-point miss by Moore. And they get the ball inside to Crisp. May have got away with a travel there.
Yes, he did.
Slid those feet.
Beyond that, I would tell Jamal Crisp to go right after Baylor there. I think the Storm have missed some opportunities to attack him, try to get that 5th foul.
Crisp with a little jumper there at the free throw line, misses, and Baylor again snags the boards. .550 left to go in this great contest. Ethan English almost with a nice steal. He had that one. The Storm had a 2-on-1 break, but not to be.
My one and only college action there, Miles Poole. I got the pass down the baseline. Unfortunately, I was out of bounds, so I get credit for nothing.
I want to see you take a shot. Burton hands it off to Boston. Boston going to set up the Bulldog half-court offense. McCray getting ready to check back in. He's had a little bit of a breather, and there's a turnover for the Bulldogs. Crisp with the bucket off the turnover.
Well, that's good body control because he was really close to sliding that right foot.
Yeah, almost took another step there. 15 for Jamal. Pass inside to the big guy. He knows what to do with it. Baylor slams it home. 75-69. 5 minutes left to go in this contest. In regulation, I should say.
Yeah, the way it's going, this could be an overtime game.
English to Parker. Parker thought about a three, then stepped up and drained a two.
The lost art of an 18-foot shot when you need it.
That's great recognition as the defender flew out there to block that three. Parker just let him go by, stepped up, and drained a two.
14 so far for Parker, having a great game right when the Storm need him to.
There's a tie-up. That's going to be Storm basketball. Good hands in there, both on the double team by Kobe Parker and Dane Stewart.
Boy, and I'm looking at Lamonte Cowser and Jaquan Baylor right now, and I don't know how much they've got in the tank right now. They have been battling it out, both with 4 fouls, both playing smart. I'm impressed by the game that both of these young men are playing, and Cowser is someone who scores a lot, but right now he's recognizably his assignment is, which is to try to keep Baylor at bay at the moment to get the Storm through this game.
And that's easier said than done. I mean, Baylor is a load at 6'8".
I wouldn't get in his way. Young man, you can have the ball and the rim.
Ethan English directing traffic for Davidson. Davie gets it inside to Cowser. Cowser goes up against the big guy, and Baylor held his ground, and Lamonte leaves that one short. Here comes McCray. And McCray's going to get fouled. That may be on Jamal Crisp. It is. That is his third.
Yeah, and Crisp just makes the cardinal sin of at the last second swatting down at the ball, and he didn't have to do that. And that's what's going to get the foul called. And I have to believe that left knee is still bothering him a little bit.
Yes.
Just haven't seen the same elevation from him that you might normally.
McCray gets to the free throw line a lot. I think he and Baylor on the team are two that go to the line over 100 times this season, and that one was a nice shot by McCray.
His 17th point here in the second half. Well, we said McCray had to get rolling, and he has done so in spades.
.22 point for McCray. 77-71. Pitt gets it to 6. That's about as close as they've been able to get, but still a lot of time left to go in this game. 4 minutes now in the second half. Both teams looking for somebody to step up big time here. Cowser gets the ball over to Ethan English. The Storm in no hurry. Crisp, nice move inside on Norwood.
Crisp, for all he may be ailing, that's his 10th point here in the second half. He's got 17 on the game.
Tell you, to be banged up like he is, that was a pretty good looking move, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Crisp on Norwood. Norwood has a wide open three now. That's a little short. And Ethan English grabs the rebound, and Kobe Parker gets it back to English, to Crisp. Misses, but English grabs the rebound. Baylor wasn't down there, and Ethan had an easy swipe at that rebound.
Well, and for Jamal Crisp, maybe that 4-foot shot, sometimes that's the toughest one.
Yes. Cowser inside against Baylor. Baylor. Good defensive play. Lamonte hit the ground, no whistle. I think that was a clean play. And that ball is going to go out of bounds. That'll be Norwood. He caught the ball, but half of his body was out of bounds.
Tough break for Norwood. Landed on the out of bounds line.
I'm impressed at the break here with the way that both, you mentioned it, Cowser and Baylor have been playing with those 4 fouls. I mean, on the play right there that Lamonte went in, Baylor held his ground straight up in the air, didn't jump, didn't swat down at it, didn't get off his feet, and he affected Lamonte's shot, and that's what he needs to do defensively. And then on the other end, Lamonte is, focused on stopping Baylor, keeping him out of the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both of those two are putting on a clinic of how to play smart and stay in the ball game but still impact it. And it's been fun to watch those two guys go at it. But we got a ball game right now, Miles. It's 8 points, 2.5 left. And it's either teams to win. But you did mention, the Bulldogs have struggled to get it down. They had it down at 4 at one point. I think that's the closest that they got. The Storm were able to just put a few more points on there. They've got to get a couple stops, the Bulldogs do here. Try to put a little bit more pressure. Tons of time left, just 2.5 minutes. The Bulldogs are not going to go out there and worry about three-pointers. Just keep getting deflections and getting out in transition is what they've got to do at this point.
Brandon Mullis chiming in. Brandon, glad you're watching tonight. Says conditioning and depth about to play a huge factor down the stretch. And I tell you, both teams have really been going at it, and both look a little fatigued.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been 3 straight days of very good ball games. Nobody's had an easy one. I think Bazemore got a hold of the ball, knocked it away from Ethan English.
And Bazemore has been out a lot. I don't know that he's been on the floor much in the second half. I think he may be one that's been cramping as well. And he's going to get a foul as he's guarding Ethan English coming up the court.
Yeah, and I still wonder, and I guess the cramps and whatever was bothering Jaquan Curry is still affecting him. Because he's still not been out here for most of the second half. I don't know if he's played in the second half at all. And so you mentioned those cramps, and boy, that's just really hard to overcome.
Big free throws here for English. Gets the first one. Ethan is an 81% free throw shooter. And he has the Storm up now by 9 with 2:28 left. Second shot by Ethan is on the money. McCray trying to get it in. Kobe Parker, really good defense there.
He almost got the turnover.
McCray going to go coast to coast with that layup. 24 points now for Amarian.
Another great ball game. Very impressive player. I have to assume he's getting a lot of looks at the 4-year level.
Well, I tell you what, he should be. That's for sure. He is a player.
He deserves to keep playing basketball.
Yes, he does. Kobe Parker from 3. Can't get it to go, but Crisp is going to fight for the rebound, and along with McCray, and that's going to belong to the Bulldogs. Good, smart play there by Amarian. Both teams trying to finish this thing strong. Bazemore coming down with it. Gets it to McCray. McCray going to work on Ethan English. Good double team there by Cowser. And McCray throws the ball off of Cowser's leg. Smart play. He had nowhere to go with that.
Right. He got into the corner and the baseline. That was it.
16 seconds on the shot clock. Tamir Moore going to get it in to Baylor. Baylor, nice move inside. That's a beautiful move by the big guy.
Well, and again, it's the recognition that you got Cowser on you, and he's got 4 fouls, so he's going up with it, and Baylor did there. He's got 7 on the game, all 7 here in the second half.
81-75. Ethan English goes in for a layup. Beautiful pass there by Jamal Crisp on the backdoor cut by English, and there's timeout on the court. Minute 21 left to go here. We'll be back to Cape Fear Community College right after this break.
Perfect combo includes 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. So we were asking real people how much they think all of this costs.
35, 45, 50.
$19.99. I'm about to order that when I get home. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
We are back here, the finals of the Division II Region 10 men's basketball tournament, and we have got a good one. Didn't look that way at the break, did it? The Storm held a 20-point lead going into halftime, but the Pitt Bulldogs hung in there. They didn't let that get them down. They fought really hard and made a really good game of this. It's a 83-75 game right now. Storm up, but still undecided.
Yep, I mean, the Pitt Bulldogs have come out in the second half. They've posted a lot of points. They've scored 45 points so far here in the second half. The fans are into it. We're into it. Great atmosphere here at Cape Fear Community College. Boy, this is a lot of fun. It's been a great, great week of basketball for Region 10, and this is looking like it's going to be a great finish to this tournament.
Pitt going to inbound it to Mir Moore. The Storm going to have that full court pressure. And Moore's going to bring it up against the defense of Aiden Taylor. He hands it off to Bazemore. Guarded by Parker. Big guy at the top of the key. It's Baylor looking for something to do with it. He gets double teamed, kicks it over to Bazemore. Bazemore drives, puts up a shot that's short, and Cowser gets the rebound. Under a minute to play now. Pitt may have to foul, and they do. Bazemore is going to foul Taylor.
Yeah, I was waiting for that reaction. I mean, really, Pitt has to at that point.
17 foul on Pitt, so bonus for 8th team foul. It'll be bonus time for the Storm. Aiden Taylor, a really good free throw shooter. The Storm going to have to hit some free throws now in this last 53 seconds, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they miss. McCray swats it over to Bazemore. Bulldogs need a bucket. Bazemore kicks it over to Norwood. Back to Bazemore. Bazemore. Nice pass to Norwood. Reverse layup is good, and Pitt's going to take a timeout with 38 seconds left. They've got it down to 6 now, 83-77. We'll keep it right here for this. Again, Pitt did what they needed.
Yeah, Davidson Davie had everything that they wanted right there. You've got one of your best free throw shooters on the line, Aiden Taylor. You expect him to at least get 1 out of 2. He goes up there and misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Boy, that's an 0-2 in your mind right now, because you could be up 8 or 10. Instead now, they come back down, and Pitt's able to get an easy bucket, and we got a 6-point game. Now, if you're Pitt, you got 39.5 seconds left. I still think you're of the situation. It's 2 scores, but you certainly can't let it run out. You can't let it go down. You got to try to get you got to be really going aggressively after the inbounds pass, but if you don't get it, you got to foul.
Yep.
But again, as I always say, go after that inbounds pass really hard and make the referee call it on you, because if they miss a call, even if you foul them, if they miss it, it doesn't matter as long as you get the ball. So be aggressive if you're Pitt.
You are absolutely correct. Pitt trying to get this inbounds, and they don't. They let go. They're not very aggressive there, and they're not fouling. I'm surprised. Double team Ethan English. He gets it off to Aiden Taylor, and then McCray finally fouls Aiden Taylor, but a lot of time went off the clock.
Yeah, they let 10 seconds roll off the clock right there, and I think that was may have been a mistake. If Aiden Taylor knocks these 2 right down right here, then it's going to put Pitt in a very tough position.
Taylor missed the front end of a 1-and-1 just a moment ago, and he doesn't miss very often. He's normally a very, very good free throw shooter, 84.5% on the year. This one is good. He's got 12 now, and the Storm up by 7 with 29 seconds. Pitt will have to score quick. That free throw is good. 13 points now for Taylor. A timeout on the court, 29 seconds. We'll leave it here again. The Storm up, Kevin, 85-77. Again, the Pitt Bulldogs are going to have to score quick and then try to steal the inbounds pass, but you got to foul quick.
You've got to foul quick, and I think, boy, it's tough to say you don't have to knock down a three. You're going to have to hit one at some point along the line to win this game. Probably going to have to hit two. Do you have to have one right here? Maybe not, but it's got to be a quick bucket. You got to go straight to the hole. Maybe you get some contact and get a three-point play. But if you're going to settle for a two right now, you got to go quick.
29 ticks of the clock is what's left here. And what's at stake is a ticket to the national championship. Dan Truey asked, does the runner-up get a bid to the Florida in the Florida tournament to possibly get a national bid? That's not the case anymore. Brandon Mullis chimes in and answers that. But yeah, that's not the case anymore. They stopped that a couple years ago.
That's correct. When they opened up at-large bids, they eliminated that, and the Florida teams get their own qualification at this point. So if you're the Storm, you're playing competitive defense here, but you're not fouling. You contest any shot, make it hard for Pitt, but you don't want to give up a three-point play, and certainly don't want to give up a four-point play.
Norwood's got to get the ball in bounds. He does to McCray. McCray going to go right at Cowser. Gets the bucket and the foul, and I think that's going to be 5 on Lamonte.
And as we said, that's exactly what you cannot do, is give up a three-point play. And McCray's been great at the free throw line today. He hasn't missed. He's 6 of 6. So if you're the Storm, that's everything that you didn't want to happen for you.
They may not have called that foul on Cowser. Who was that foul on? Five-point ball game. Pitt tries to steal the inbounds. Got to be a foul on McCray. That'll be McCray's 4. 85-80 is the score for the Storm. That foul was on Aiden Taylor and not Cowser. Kobe Parker now going to the free throw line, 76.5 points. 15 points now for Kobe. That's a big free throw.
Yeah, that's huge down the stretch here to make that a 6-point lead.
86-80. 87-80. McCray going quickly for Pitt. Drives the lane, puts up a shot, no good. Aiden Taylor may be, are they going to charge the foul on Taylor? I think they are.
Yeah.
They're going to get Cowser with that one. And that should be 5 for Lamonte. No, 4? Baylor's going to shoot some free throws.
Yeah, in the arena they're saying 4.
Baylor hits the free throw, 87-81. This one's still not over yet.
Baylor's 2 of 3 on the day. Without a doubt, the Storm are going to have to hit some free throws here, but they got to be strong with the ball, getting it in.
They get it into English. No fouls. The Storm going to dribble this one out. Now they finally foul Aiden Taylor. Only 11 ticks on the clock. And the foul is going to be on Traven Norwood.
Okay, so 11.3 left. Taylor's going to the line, 5-point lead. If he hits one, you've got, without a doubt, you've got to have a three-pointer. So if he hits both of them, boy, you're down 3 scores. So this is huge if he can knock down both of them.
Taylor's first free throw is good. Lining up for that second free throw now. This would make it a 3-possession game, like you said. He does. That's big.
It's a hill that's going to be
Pitt's got to get up a quick
Clark.
3. And they call timeout. 6.9 seconds left in the game. And Pitt still holding on hopes, but it's really an uphill battle now. The Storm up by 7 with less than 7 seconds left.
Yeah, 89-82, and boy, it's been an up and down game. I mean, we thought Pitt was out of it early, and they really turned it around. McRae just absolutely took over. He has scored 23 here in the second half. He's 7 of 7 from the free throw line in the game, and McRae, and you know, after a 14-point first half from Curry, we haven't seen him. I think the cramps have gotten him out, or I don't know if he's got a worse injury than that. But Pitt's been able to fight through it without one of their stars. And right now it's probably just coming down where they're just going to run out of time here with 7.2 seconds left in the game.
You got to give Pitt a lot of credit for coming back like they did in the second half. They did what they had to do, and they got it under 5. But the Storm now back up by 7. 1 second left. There's a foul on Ethan English. That's certainly nothing that the Storm wanted to have happen there.
That was unnecessary by English.
4.6 seconds left.
Don't know that it's going to make a difference in the game, but unfortunately, we'll send the Pitt Bulldogs to the line and see if something can happen. Not what you want to do.
Zali Bazemore looking for his first points of tonight's contest. Didn't play a lot in the second half. Bazemore tees it up again here. Gets it. 89-84. Storm get it in, and that should do it. There's a foul, quick foul on Norwood. That'll send Aiden Taylor back to the free throw line. But at this point, it's academic, I think, with 3 seconds left.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs trail by 5.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. The Storm are going to move on to Danville, Illinois. Pitt will be hoping and looking for an at-large bid to go to Danville. I would make the case, a lot of great teams, a lot of great competition in Region 10, that it deserves at least consideration for the second-place team out of this region to maybe make it to Danville. But I have to believe some of that's going to be watching to see what else happens around the country. Do the 1 seeds in the rest of the really big regions, do they get through, or is maybe they're an upset? And an upset would be, I'm going to count that basket, an upset would be one would keep Pitt out.
Moore gets the 3 at the buzzer, and the Storm are going to win it 91-84. A hard-fought victory, one that it looked like the Storm was on cruise control at halftime, but that was not to be. Pitt was not done with this thing yet. They made a game out of it, and it's a hard-fought 91-87 4-point win for Davidson Davie. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And we are back here at the beautiful Joe and Barbara Schwartz Center on the campus of Cape Fear Community College. Davidson Davie out celebrating. They are the Region 10 Division II men's tournament champions. For how many times in a row now, Kevin? 5 times in a row, I think. And they are going to Danville, Illinois. March 17th through 22nd to get a chance to play for the national championship. This one wasn't easy. It looked like it was going to be for Coach Ridge and his Storm at the break, but Pitt made a game out of this thing.
Yeah, in the first half, the Storm led by as many as 23. It was 33-10 at one point. As you mentioned, a 20-point halftime lead, but boy, we said it coming out of the half that Coach Mullins would not let his team go quietly. And those Pitt Bulldogs, boy, I'm going to tell you what, they came back strong in the second half, and they showed just exactly what they're capable of. Great second half by McCray, really leading the Bulldogs to try to come back at 23 points. But an outstanding game, and I think indicative of what Region 10 brings and what this tournament's been.
Well, the commissioner of Region 10, Lynn Hartzell, out at midcourt to present some awards, and the Storm, of course, are going to get their championship plaque or championship trophy. The Storm talked most of the season. You heard talk about, let's get back to the national tourney. It's a tough thing to do, but they're back there again.
Yeah, it's absolutely difficult to do year in, year out, because everybody's got the mark on you, right? And night in, night out, what the Storm have been able to do is face those challenges. And Region 10 has brought a tremendous amount of pressure on Davidson Davie. A couple losses this season, a lot of close games. Region 10, there are several teams nipping right at the heels of Davidson Davie. They just happen to be able to overcome again one more time. Tons of credit to the players on the court and the coaching staff and the program around them that were able to get them to this point again in this season.
So in the 18 years of this program, they have qualified for 4 national championship or national tourney appearances in D3, and this will be the 6th time in D2 that they have qualified to go play for the national championship. Not a banner that they've been able to hang in Brinkley Gym yet, but they've got a chance now. They're back.
Yeah, they're hoping to follow in the footsteps of some other D2 teams here from Region 10 in the past, and they would like to take a run at it. I'd certainly like to think that they've got a lot of players on this team. I'm certainly that can get them there to that trophy. I'm certain they're going to go represent Region 10 very well in Danville, Illinois. And I would encourage people, if you've never been to Danville for a national tournament there hosted by the NJCAA, great tournament there. A lot of great folks and a lot of great basketball. I'd encourage folks to consider getting out there sometime.
Well, I got to give a lot of credit to Coach Derek Mullins and his Pitt Community College Bulldogs. They are a classy team, and they've got some great athletes on this squad. They came up just a little bit short today, but they gave it everything they had. And you want to check the scoring for us, Kevin, before we check out of here?
Yeah, leading all scorers was Amarian McCray. I mean, he had 27 points. What just an outstanding ball game for him. Other Pitt players in the scoring column, Bazemore had 2, Moore with 8, Rashawn Boston with 8. Jaquan Curry, outstanding first half, but I think injuries limited him in the second half. He was 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He scored 14, and really a fun player to watch these last 2 years at Pitt. So hopefully he gets some opportunities going forward. Traven Norwood had 7, Clarence Burton with 6. Patrick had 4, and Jaquan Baylor had 9, and Barber added 2. For the Storm, Dane Stewart with 5, Taylor 17, Ethan English 11, Kobe Parker 16, Lamonte Cowser led the way with 19. He was 7-11 from the free throw line. Jalen Wilkerson had 6 on the strength of a couple of three-pointers, and Jamal Crisp, a great ball game, was 17.
Good job, Coach. Coach Dumas, Coach Allen coming over, giving us a fist bump. They're really excited. Well-deserved win here, Kevin. And, hey, I want to thank you. It's been fun. 7 games in 3 days. It's been a blast. I want to thank the folks here at Cape Fear Community College. Jessica Clark, the SID, she's been just phenomenal. So thank you so much for working with us and allowing us to come in and do this, and for teaching us how to use this software, and also for Ryan Mantlow, the Director of Athletics here, just a class act. And this is a great facility, and we've enjoyed coming and doing the ball games.
Absolutely. This has been a great pleasure. Region 10 has some great basketball. This is a wonderful facility, and we're thrilled to have been here.
Well, we're going to sign off, but we want to congratulate Coach Matt Ridge and his Davidson Community College Storm. They finished the tournament with a victory, and they are going to qualify for the Nationals. 29-3 now on the season. Still games to be played for the Storm, and we want to thank everyone who watched on and chimed in on live chat. We appreciate you guys. The Storm win it, and they are the Region 10 tournament champions. So for Kevin Gardner, I'm Miles Poole. Have a great rest of the weekend, everyone.